friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about toddler food up to maybe age 6 or 7. Some ideas and principles that you can use when you're thinking about what to make for your little ones for lunch and even breakfast and dinner, and what will help you in that pursuit. Americans, hope you had a lovely 4th of July weekend. So let's get started. I love the years with little ones. Sadly, I don't have one under 10 anymore. Our 5 are all 11 and over. But those were such special years. I must say, though, the teenage years are wonderful and special in a different way, too. Very much so. But those little years are such fun. I remember often we would have outside lunch during homeschool. So they would have a little divided plate with a yogurt and a piece of cheese and some kind of bread or bread roll and a little bit of meat. And it was a really easy meal for me because then they go outside, they enjoy being out there, and it's kind of a special thing like a picnic. And it's very easy. Then you put a little dried fruit, a few nuts on the plate, and then we're done. And so even doing inside meals like that was helpful, where it was a few odd small items that put together made a great toddler or meal for a young kid. So I just thought we'd chat a little bit about that today. A trip down memory lane for me. So number 1, a practical strategy is to keep it simple. If you're making food for your toddler, for your young children, it's always good to keep it simple from their perspective and from yours. They're going to like what's on the plate to be all separate and very easily recognizable, something that they're familiar with. And not too many different items. We don't want to overwhelm them or make them feel like it's too much to eat. We want to avoid sensory overload. So 3 different things, a couple of bright colors, maybe a fruit and a starch and some meat, or a bit of dairy, some cheese or some yogurt. So anything that they're going to be familiar with and immediately think, yes, I want to eat that. Number 2, small portions. So small amounts of each thing is less intimidating. And then you can also give them seconds if they like it, if they ask for more, if they're still hungry. So this kind of helps them also to learn to eat intuitively. So they eat what there is and they say, please, can I have more of this and not this? It helps them to kind of be in control of what they're eating. Then number 3, a routine is very helpful. So they can expect their meals and their snacks at a consistent time each day. So it's predictable. It helps them feel secure. Their bodies are ready to eat. Their minds are anticipating it. They'll digest it more easily. They're excited about it and they'll come and see what you're doing. Are you putting food on their plates? Are you chopping stuff? Can they help? Can they get involved? And then they're ready for the meal. And then along those lines, making it fun. So if they're there, you can be using cookie cutters to cut fun shapes with your sandwiches or your fruits or vegetables. You can make little faces or figures of people with patterns or with your ingredients on a plate. Anything that makes it fun and engaging for them. Then number 5, involving them. They're probably already going to be hanging around, interested in what you're doing. So it's very easy to let them help, whether it's stirring, sprinkling things, or assembling parts of their meal. They're more likely to eat it and to be excited about it if they help to make it. So see what ways you can involve them and have a little step in the kitchen. We always had those plastic 3-step ladders in the kitchen, and the kids can climb up those and stand at counter level. And then they would often do the mixing or the putting of whatever onto plates, and they love that. Number 6, eating the rainbow. I always try to think of the colors of the rainbow to ensure that I'm giving them a balanced diet over the week, especially for young children. So fruits, again, are fabulous. Strawberries, blueberries, Then carrots are orange, peas in the pod are green, grapes are purple or green. So the bright foods are nutritious and they attract attention, and having a range of colors promotes that balanced nutrition. Some things like cucumber, celery sticks are green, tomatoes are red, and then you can add your dairy and your meat to that. But then it helps you to make sure they've got lots of good raw and even cooked healthy vegetables and fruits. You can also do it with a dip. So if you have a broccoli, steamed little heads of broccoli, they can dip that into some feta that's been whipped up or some hummus. Then number 7, offer choices within limits. So not endless choices, but let them choose between 2 healthy options. Today, would you like apple slices or banana with your sandwich? So somehow giving them that sense of control, that they have some input, helps it not to feel overwhelming, and they know what to anticipate when they're about to eat. Number 8, repetition. Kids often need to see a food many times, like 10 times, before it becomes normal to them and they can completely accept it. So, to keep offering a food that you know they're a little unsure about without pressure that they have to eat it, but the exposure is what matters. So, seeing it on the plate, seeing you eat it, having it be a common food at dinner time will definitely help them to accept it over time. And that brings me to number 9, avoid food pressure. So don't force new foods, don't force bites, don't bargain, or even don't reward them with like a chocolate or something if they eat it, but treat it as normal, like a normal part of life. You don't have to eat it, but it's here if you want to try it. And then you have a bite and enjoy it. And hopefully over time they'll try things and learn to enjoy them. Number 10, when you can, prep ahead. So anything that helps to be able to just take out a bag full from the freezer and defrost, or take something out of the cupboard. So a bag full of tiny muffins, mini muffins from the freezer, or some prepackaged snacks or nuts and raisins, trail mix from your cupboard. Things that you've prepackaged that are easy to add to your meals is really helpful, especially on busy days. You can freeze pre-made meatballs, tiny ones. You could pre-cut vegetables and put them in your fridge. And then pre-portioning your snacks, if you make some brownies or any kind of nutrition balls, you can have those pre-portioned and just add them to your plates. I like to keep some biltong or jerky in the freezer to add, and I just keep it there, and then it defrosts very quickly once you take it out. And then, speaking of the things that you are introducing them to, always combine those with something familiar. This is number 11, combine new with familiar. So, you want to introduce a new food to them, you want them to be exposed to it. So, you keep bringing it out on the plate, but it's next to something they're very familiar with. So, pair something with cheese and apple slices or something they already love. And then the third item is the new thing. And then they can be adventurous when they feel ready to. And then number 12, the presentation. Just like with adults, we love plates that are arranged beautifully. At a restaurant, it's appetizing and appealing to see a plate beautifully laid out. So your presentation for kids matters too. Using maybe kid-sized plates, fun utensils with colors, little food forks that you can stick in the food, or sectioned plates to organize the food. Anything that makes it look inviting is going to help them to eat what you give them. And it really doesn't have to be complicated. Maybe your toddlers or your young kids are great eaters. And in that case, you can just enjoy the season. I think the easiest thing to do always is to start with 1 or 2 fruits and then some salady ingredient. So maybe strawberries, blueberries, and cucumber. And then you add a little dairy, like a piece of cheese, and a little bit of meat, like some shredded chicken, maybe with mayonnaise. Very quick and easy, and they don't need fancy combined casseroles. All they need are the elements of a good, nutritious meal, and they prefer it that way to have them in separate sections of the plate. So now I'm going to mention some ideas for the different meals of the day and the snacks, specific things you could do. Okay, some practical breakfast ideas for toddlers or young kids. Mini pancakes, banana pancakes, anything that's quick and easy with a little smear of peanut butter or almond butter or Greek yogurt on top with some berries. Pancakes are always a win. Scrambled eggs with vegetables. So you could add finely chopped zucchini, mushrooms, or bell pepper to the scrambled eggs to make it a good rounded meal. Add some milk to your eggs before you cook them. Very nutritious. Then cooked oats or oatmeal with fruit like mashed banana or strawberries or just cinnamon and a splash of milk. Even a little cocoa powder if you feel like it. Then Greek yogurt, you can layer your yogurt. You can even put crushed graham crackers as a treat, but layer it with fresh fruit and a little bit of maple syrup on the top. And then toast soldiers. We had this when I was young. Have a soft boiled egg and put it in an egg cup and show them how to crack the shell on top. They love that. Cut off the white. And then you have your egg for dipping. So your toast soldiers are what you dip in the egg. Toddlers love that. Snack ideas, anything you can do in advance and keep in your freezer is a lifesaver here. Something like mini muffins, homemade, or brownies chopped into squares with a little bit of extra protein in them. Those are great. Then things like fruit again or cheese. You can make little fruit kebabs with grapes and pieces of strawberry or melon on them. Make them extra interesting for the kids, but use sticks that are not too spiky. Then vegetable muffins. You can use zucchini or cheese or carrot in your muffins. Breakfast muffins. Then mini rice cakes with something like almond butter or peanut butter. Add banana slices on top. You also get corn cakes. They taste different to rice cakes. Some people prefer one and some the other. And then smoothies. A little bit of yogurt, fruit, maybe a little bit of oats or an almond butter in there. Boiled eggs. And then crackers and cheese. You can buy soft cheese like Laughing Cow cheese or a cheddar, something aged for that vitamin K. And then any kind of crackers, wheat crackers or rice crackers are lovely to put the cheese on and eat as a little mini sandwich. Then lunches. Little roll ups. So you can get sliced turkey, deli meat, or sliced chicken, pastrami beef, any of those, and then you roll them, even ham, you roll them with the cheese slice. And then you've got your little roll up containing a slice of meat and a slice of cheese. Very toddler friendly, and you can add some cucumber sticks, carrot sticks, or apple slices to that. Mini quesadillas. So take your tortillas and put cheese and ham slices inside, or finely chopped vegetables, and cut them into triangles. You can toast them in a pan or in the oven. You can also make them into little filled pizza-like things. So just put some mozzarella and a little bit of ham or pepperoni in there. Mac and cheese is always a big hit. And you can add some hidden vegetables in there, like blended sweet potato or carrots that have been cooked or cauliflower into the cheese sauce. And you can use pita breads in a similar way to the pizza on tortillas. So you can cut open the pizza pocket and add a few pizza ingredients, maybe some tomato sauce, mozzarella, and anything you like on top of your pizza, and then bake those in the oven. Cut them up, kind of pizza sandwiches or filled pizza pockets. And then any kind of snack plate, cubes of cheese, crackers, cherry tomatoes, fruit chopped up, yogurt. Those, as I mentioned at the beginning, an outside lunch. Those are always great. Let's see, cream cheese as a dip. So cucumber and carrot sticks to dip into cream cheese, Or you can mash up your avo and add a little salt or make it into a full-on guacamole and then dip your cucumber, carrot, or any other vegetables like celery into that. Then sandwiches from the same kind of ingredients, cream cheese with pepperoni or salami slices inside, or any kind of shredded meat in there. If you have some leftover pulled pork, some leftover shredded beef or chicken, and then you just add it in there with a little bit of barbecue sauce and a little bit of cheese. If you have a few little ones, you could make a frittata using some chopped vegetables, zucchini, mushrooms, etc., and then your egg, similar to the scrambled egg with veggies for breakfast. So then you add your vegetables first, make sure they're well cooked. Pour in some egg with milk in it that you've whisked up and let it cook to be a frittata, and then give them each a slice of that. Or even cut out a shape with a cookie cutter from your frittata to put on their plate. Grilled cheese sandwiches with a tomato soup type dip is always a hit. Buttery sandwiches, that one would need a bit of help to not be too messy. And then little salad piles, tuna salad, chicken salad, just on their own with a little spoon. They enjoy that. You can add some pecan nuts, some chopped apple on the side, and then baked potatoes. You can use potatoes that you've cooked and then open them up, get the potato out and mash it and add a bit of cream and butter and seasoning. And then you can add something like corn or just cheese and add it back into the potato jacket. So twice baked potatoes in a simpler form. Then lastly, a few ideas for dinners. Mini meatballs. Somehow toddlers like mini and they're not so crazy about the sauce. Perhaps you could put the sauce as a dipping option, but just put the plain meatballs on the plate and possibly stick some little toothpicks into them so that they're easy to pick up and eat. And then any kind of little mini kebabs. If they've got tiny pieces of cooked meat on them, like barbecue chicken, that's great. The fruit salad kebab would be things like strawberries, blueberries, even a fun little marshmallow now and then on there. So you could do dessert kebabs too. And then salad kebabs, a little cucumber piece, a piece of feta, an olive without the pip, and a baby tomato, and then repeat. Those are really fun little things to put with dinner or as dinner. And then a stir-fried rice, including egg and maybe vegetables, or fish bites. So if you bake your fish and then flake them into small pieces, that's always welcome. But I think the most important thing is to keep it simple and not have too many different things at once. Little kind of potato squares, like chop up your cooked potatoes and fry them or roast them, but smaller than you would for normal roast potatoes. So little blocks of food that is small and enticing that they can have in one mouthful and they don't have to bite. Little pieces of meat that have been chopped up and vegetables, again, that are small. Those are all really helpful for your child to be able to eat. I'm sure you've got lots more bright ideas. I hope this has inspired you. You should sit down and brainstorm a whole lot of ideas before they go out of your head. But happy cooking for your young children. Enjoy this season while you're in it. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.